I was asked to speak about my experience. Normally, I'm a very positive person and give positive vibes, but unfortunately, my experience with carbon credits has not been good. So I'm sure the speakers who come after me will sort of build on what are the problems faced by me and how those can be avoided. We basically set up a few windmills in about 5 years back and went for with a idea that we'll be getting carbon credits. We are still hopeful that we'll get the carbon credits. The process, I was told by my consultants, is in the final stages, and maybe sometime this year end we'll be able to get the carbon credits. But I thought that since I've gone through the experience, it's good that I share a few points which have to be kept in mind when this type of things are to be kept. One is carbon credits are allowed only if you are replacing carbon. Theoretically speaking, a lot of windmills or other processes which are there are not eligible for carbon credits because it is adding to further addition of the power capacity. Only if we can prove that the windmills which we are setting up is replacing some coal thermal power plant or some other power plant which is emitting carbon today, we are eligible for windmills. Most of the times this criteria is looked over and people are still getting carbon credits, but this is one critical point in carbon crediting, that any investment which we make should ensure that an equivalent carbon emission is reduced. Just because we are setting up power with a newer technology, now we are still getting carbon credits, but this is one point which is there which has to be kept in mind. Secondly, we have to also prove that the investment made in clean mechanisms or clean development mechanisms would not have been viable had it not been for the carbon credit which is likely to come from this. So that is another critical thing. If it is adding to your profits, then carbon credits are not available. It has to be proved very clearly that without the carbon credit, the project itself is not viable. So that is another point which needs to be kept in mind. Thirdly, the time frame for getting the whole process through is very, very rigorous, very, very lengthy. And given the nascent stage of the industry, we find that there is a huge turnover of the manpower in the consulting companies, which leads to continuity problems. So these are a few problems being faced by this industry which need to be kept in mind.